So I'm going to begin a piece that will be, as usual, part of a series. I always work in groups. So for starters, I just chose a bunch of collage materials. A lot of these are my hand-painted and scribbled papers, and I have a couple of other items here. I'm going to start by putting down some collage. And this group of materials I've gathered is like a hypothesis. It's like, oh, let's see what these look like together. And it doesn't mean I have to use every single one of them. It doesn't even mean I have to use any of them. I might put some collage down and just paint over the whole thing. It's just kind of asking the question, what happens when I put this thing next to that thing? In fact, every time I put a piece of collage down, it's like a hypothesis. It doesn't say, look, there's the element that is going to be in the final piece. It's just a way of saying, well, try this, and then as the piece develops, I may or may not keep it. I can always paint over it. I can paint over it, and then I can add another similar piece if I decide to bring it back. So this collage in this piece is just the first layer. So I'm not composing here as much as just laying a foundation. And at the same time, it's not random. It's not like, oh, just slap it down anywhere, it'll be fine. I am looking. Oh, there's interesting. It's interesting for now. It doesn't mean it's going to end up in the final piece. Often after doing the collage part of a piece, I paint over a good deal of it with opaque white and neutrals, but this time I'm going to start by adding a little more color. And again, the color here is, the colors I'm adding are again kind of like hypotheses. Like, let's see what happens with this red. Doesn't mean the red has to stay in the final composition. So I love this blue, but I think it's might not be in the right place. So I'm removing this piece. Oh, and getting some really interesting edges in the process. And of course I have this other whole sheet of blue paper from which I could cut another piece if I want. And I have a tube of blue paint. So I have the option of putting it back. So I guess what I've decided is that I'm kind of making this area a red area. Red to magenta to this quinacridone gold. So as much as I like this red in isolation, I think it's a really interesting area. I'm just going to decide to take it in a different direction because to my eye, that's just not, it's looking like it's either this or that. So this is a white mixed with a little gray and a tiny bit of yellow. You can probably see in there. I love the way when you brayer and sort of lift some of the paint, the collage edges become really evident. So you can see the edges of each collage piece, and it really imposes its own thing on the composition. So now I'm taking out one of my favorite stamping tools, which is this pencil. And I'm just going to make a kind of a rectangle using black dots. See what that does to this piece. Or I want to see what happens if I bring it up a little higher. Too much? I don't know. Maybe. Go off that paint a little bit. Okay, so this piece isn't finished, but I'm going to leave it for now, and I'm going to start another one. And I'm going to use some of the same materials, and it may diverge a little bit, and I'm going to work on that till I don't know what to do next, and then start another one, and so forth. And just this process of having a number of pieces in the works and kind of working with similar vocabulary in each one, that's what I call working in a series. And that's how I sort of learn more and more possibilities, ways of moving forward on any one given piece.